What if I told you that some of the funkiest, jazziest, and most technically impressive music didn't come from jazz capitals such as New York or New Orleans, but from Tokyo and Osaka? This is the story of Japanese jazz fusion, a genre born from cultural osmosis, rebellion, and a whole lot of groove. Jazz first came to Japan in the early 1900s, but not in the way you might expect. It was Filipino musicians, exposed to American jazz through U.S. military bases in the Philippines, who brought jazz into Japanese clubs and dance halls. This music hit Japan like a wave. In cities like Tokyo, Kobe, and later Osaka, jazz quickly became the sound of modern nightlife. Jazz bands packed the dance halls, and Japanese musicians began learning the craft. But then came the Great Kanto earthquake in 1923, which devastated Tokyo. As a result, jazz migrated west to Osaka, which soon became the heart of Japan's jazz scene. During World War II, jazz was banned in Japan, branded the music of the enemy. But even in this climate, jazz persisted. Musicians played in secret or disguised jazz under Japanese melodies, and after the war ended, jazz returned full force, with a twist. In post-war Japan, the Jazukisa, or jazz cafes, became sacred ground. Patrons would sit for hours, listening to full albums on pristine sound systems, often red Toshiba Everclean vinyls, without saying a word. It was about listening, absorbing, and respecting the music. During this era, Japanese musicians began to craft their own jazz language. Names like Sato Watanabe, Toshiko Akiyoshi, and Ryo Fukui became icons. Each brought a unique voice, helping Japanese jazz stand on its own globally. Enter the 1970s. Jazz starts emerging with funk, rock, disco, and electronic music, and out of that melting pot came a new genre, Japanese jazz fusion. Bands like T-Square and Casiopea took everything people loved about jazz, improvisation, groove, virtuosity, and made it faster, shinier, and bolder. Take the song Fightman. Legendary track performed live by both bands at a now famous concert. It's a musical duel, funky bass lines, blistering guitar solos, soaring sax runs, and synths that sound like a Sega Dreamscape. Every instrument trades off in solo, almost like they're battling each other. That's jazz fusion in a nutshell, collaborative chaos. But jazz fusion didn't stop by concerts. It embedded itself in the Japanese pop culture. T-Square composed music for the first two Gran Turismo games, and even Koji Kondo, the genius behind Super Mario Bros., cited jazz fusion as a major influence. Fast forward to the 2010s, and Japanese jazz fusion made a massive comeback, thanks to YouTube. People across the world discovered albums like Scenery and began sampling fusion tracks in a lo-fi, hip-hop, and even pop music. Artists like Grimes and Nuhabez pulled from the sound, bridging generations and genres. Today, the genre continues to inspire. From Tokyo's underground jazz bars to Twitch stream playlists, Japanese jazz fusion is thriving in new forms. It's not just nostalgia, it's timeless, because jazz fusion at its heart is about experimentation, expression, and freedom. So next time you hear someone shredding on a guitar with a sax in the background and a synth solo on top, you might just be listening to a genre that traveled the world, took root in Japan, and became something beautifully new.